for it. Wait for it. Okay, I think we're live at this point. Welcome.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We are just getting a little pre-show banter out of the way before we begin our recording of The Topic is Trek, episode 198.
We're coming up on episode
I was-
200 real soon.
Where's
was
Eric when you need him? There he is.
I was thinking instead.
That's crazy. Craig, you kind of froze for a sec.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What did you
Yes.
say? You sort of. Because you were saying something that kind of got cut. What were you saying?
Instead of banter, instead of pre-show banter, is more like folly.
Hmm.
If he freezes up again, we'll just play that song from Police Squad.
Yeah, you go.
You gotta pour the coffee and let it keep pouring.
It just comes spilling out of the sides
That's
of
what I kind of did.
Aha!
Next, a banana's gonna fall on his desk.
You committed to the bit. I like it.
What was that?
Okay, I'm sure somebody out there knows what we're talking about
Yeah,
Because we don't. So if you run right in and let us know,
on this show. What was the topic?
I don't know anymore.
I always tell people we name it after because we tend to stray off topic. There is your magic
the
bullet
topic is Police Squad
in color.
in color.
All right. Well, I believe we're ready to begin the actual audio recording portion of our show.
Alrighty.
You ready, gentlemen?
Sure,
Ready.
whatever.
Count in 5, 4, 3, 2.
This is The Topic is Trek, episode 198. Wow, for Friday, March 13th, 2026. Coming up in this episode, it's all about the molecule. Mommy, is that you? Noose on the loose. All that and more right now on The Topic is Trek. The Omega Plan. Welcome to The Topic is Trek, the podcast that runs on impulse power. Join us for a journey where no show has gone before. If it has to do with Star Trek, there's a good chance we'll talk about it sooner or later, because on this show, the topic is Trek. Engage already. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another thrill-packed edition of The Topic is Trek. I am Clinton, one of your co-hosts for this show. And as I always say, eat your vegetables. No, that's not well, I do say that, I guess, but what I always say is in order to be a co-host, you have to have other hosts with you. So, first of all, beaming in to join me from parts unknown with the hip new catchphrase that you, and especially you, are going to be talking about all week long is Mr. Craig Stepp.
You used up all the glue on purpose.
Well, it's appropriate adjacent, I guess. So, sure.
A little bit of Christmas Story wrapped in there.
Well, they have pretty colored lights as well. So yeah, okay, we'll go with it.
There you go.
And also beaming in to join me and Craig is Mr. Chuck Tomasi.
I just realized I feel like Lieutenant Kyle or Chief O'Brien because I sit here waiting for somebody to get beamed in.
You're getting paid just to stand behind the console till somebody shows up.
Exactly.
If only we still used money, as Reno would say. Yes.
O'Brien probably used the transporter as a replicator and made him a coffee on the pad and just.
But Craig, you made it really easy for us to figure out what to get the doctor for Christmas. More glue.
Yes.
There's 4 horses.
But is he more of an Elmer's person or super glue? That's the question.
It depends on the application for sure, but yeah.
Gorilla Glue, Craggle. I don't know.
Yeah. It binds us all together,
Oh,
just
that's
like
duct
fiber.
tape. That's duct tape. It has a light side and a dark side.
Ah, I see. Well, in this episode, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be talking about the last 2 episodes of season 1 of Starfleet Academy.
Yes.
We've never done before, clearly, because but the other thing is, because these episodes deal with the Omega molecule, we're going to dive a little deeper into that, because we are also going to talk about where the Omega molecule actually started, which was on Voyager in an episode called The Omega Directive.
Oh, I thought it was the Omega Glory of TOS.
Well, I don't remember them, but maybe no, it wasn't. I just double checked, and it had absolutely nothing to do with that.
Oh, EPUBnista.
So there will be some spoilers. Yeah, there will be some spoilers. Now, there's spoilers for the episode of Voyager, but I think the time has gone by for spoilers on Voyager.
It's been like 30 years.
Yeah. So, but there will be spoilers for episodes 9 and 10 of Starfleet Academy. So if you haven't watched those yet, please watch those first. Otherwise, you will be spoiled, and we are not responsible. Please consult the doctor. All right. So we're going to head out on our away mission with an appropriate sound effect.
What? No Charlie this week?
Well, we wouldn't get to subspace chatter for a little bit yet. So
you don't need all that subspace chatter.
Well, you're right, Charlie, because this week we're not going to have any. So you get a break for the week.
There you go. Here's an appropriate sound effect for the away team mission.
Okay. Oh my.
I think Darren just puked or something.
Yeah.
That's the sound effect.
Jeremy, are you okay?
I have
them on my pants.
enzymes.
Judgy Genesis. Anyway,
just jumped ahead in the episode
yes.
a little bit.
To a different series even.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be talking about not the entire plot of the Omega Directive, but really kind of the, to coin a phrase, genesis of this whole concept of the Omega particle, Omega molecule.
Mm-hmm.
And so it all started on this episode and was never mentioned again.
Voyager, season 4, episode 21.
You can't say that again, Clinton. It was
Well,
mentioned again.
until now, it wasn't mentioned again.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So we find out a couple of things. The first thing we find out about here is that once the Omega molecule is detected, or by detective is detected, the detector is detecting
Oh,
it.
yeah. One more thing.
Yeah, excuse me. That suddenly it takes top priority over everything, even if you're trying to get home from the Delta Quadrant.
Including the Prime Directive, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even that, that's going to be suspended for the remainder of this particular mission.
So yeah, this was an interesting bit that they dug out of the past. I love the fact that the writers do this. They go through canon and say, are there any, it's almost like a space seed thing. What can we pull out to make a new adventure out of that we may have mentioned? And think about how many of these there are along this journey through all the series.
Angling threads, so story threads.
So they got a nice dangerous one, which we'll get to in a bit. But this one, I when I went back and watched this, I went, good for them. Good. This was, it had some humorous moments, like Harry getting demoted from, what was he, 6 of 10 to 2 of 10. And
yeah, I was going to say, isn't that number higher? I thought, wouldn't that be better?
like a priority.
Demoted to janitor.
So it very dangerous particle, very close to the vast. Starfleet isn't supposed to mention it, but if it's detected, and then we find out that 7 of 9 already encountered it in the Borg era as particle 010, which I think is an odd designation, but it's the binary opposite of a binary high five, which we use on Technorama. So figure that one out.
Yeah.
And she says, So Janeway says that a single omega molecule contains the same amount of energy as a warp core. Now, warp cores, I don't think are all the same size. So
Good point.
it's kind of weird. And I think she bounced around a bit about
In
how
general,
much
I mean,
how much of a sector would be, like how much space would be disrupted by it. At one point, she's talking about a handful of these molecules. I'm thinking a handful of molecules is a lot of molecules.
That's a lot of molecules.
Right.
Yeah, it was a bit confusing. I don't think we were supposed to focus on its destructive power, but its
Well,
effect on subspace and how vast that can be. Because when they went to find these scientists, they went, "Hey, we've detected them. Let's go there." And as they get close, obviously they can't use warp because subspace has been disrupted in that area. So they're going chugga 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 chug up close to the
they had to
science
get out and
station.
push.
And
yeah.
the base itself has this big explosion with something leaking out the roof, but yet there's people alive. Like that one, that one seemed a bit odd.
Well, they were in that other wing of the building.
Yeah,
just the-
okay, they were in the bunker.
Yeah.
what I find interesting, because we're talking about the destructive power, the what it can do, affecting subspace and space, and essentially making it impossible to form a warp bubble, and therefore warp travel would be completely out. But Janeway says something interesting in the briefing, because she says, and I can't tell if it's her hypothesis or something she'd heard, but she thinks that Cataract, who was the physicist who was working on this at a Starfleet base, she thinks he may have been trying to develop an inexhaustible power source.
Right.
And then 7 of 9 says, or a weapon. And
Which is a
we come
logical
back-
conclusion. It definitely feels like the the Oppenheimer nuclear days.
right. And that's exactly. And what I find interesting is that exact same conversation happens toward the end of the trial that we're going to talk about later on.
Yeah.
Where News is talking about it being a weapon, and Ake says that it was being developed as an unlimited power source.
Right.
So in that case, Starfleet actually was doing that with it. And it was, but News is going to end up using it for something else.
Well, then there's this whole push me, pull me thing between Janeway wants to destroy the particle because it's too powerful for anybody to use, but yet 7 of 9 says, hey, this warrants studying and is very fascinating because it's like the God particle, if you will, for the Borg.
Yeah, they see it
represents
as
perfection.
right, because it apparently is, what does she say? Infinitely complex yet harmonious.
Right.
So the idea of all these things working together as one, which the Borg would certainly be very, very attracted to. And to me, I took a lot of that as almost like, when Spock was seeking out V'ger,
Mhm.
it was also almost that same type of thing going on. It's like, I must, because she said, I have to assimilate it. Like Spock would say, I must mind meld with it. I must
Right.
understand this thing. And so it was that same kind of drive that she had. And you got this back and forth because the Borg had developed a way to contain.
Well, they synthesized it and they contained it, but it wasn't for long. And
No, it was for a fraction of a second before it stabilized. And it took out 29 vessels and 600,000 drones.
Hey, as they were celebrating, as drones
Yeah.
do, and it blew up.
all the drones are raising a mug of whatever oil. I guess.
Yeah. Oral can.
Lube me, baby.
Yeah,
We
Lumi.
did it.
So she was able to build this containment field for it, but she said, well, I think I can stabilize it. And
I think.
Janeway was very much like, no, the mission is it has to be destroyed.
And she said, it even starts to come to loggerheads when she says, I could have done this without your permission. I'm like,
Mhm.
ooh.
Hmm. But she does the right thing in the end. However, I thought it was interesting because you have this weird thing that happens right before they have to eject the Omega molecules out of Voyager, and they're going to detonate the rest of it with the gravitic mine or the torpedo, is that on its own it stabilizes. And that's the problem with the Omega molecule. It's extremely unstable, which is why it usually only lasts for a fraction of a second. Once and I don't, so I guess again, we'll talk about the mines later on, but I'm guessing in the mines, that means somehow it's in its own little containment field within the mine.
You only had like one molecule in there.
Right. But I mean, one molecule,
It was tiny. Come on, it's just a little bitty one.
it would blow up an entire sector of space. So
Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
yeah, it's so cute. It's so cute.
Can we keep it Janeway, please?
I will pet it
No.
and name it George.
No. I have this. I cannot clear the screens of this Omega symbol unless we get rid of this thing.
Yeah. I want to go back to Alpha.
Yeah. That's another weird thing, is that you realize that Newsbraka stole Omega from the Alpha research station. Oh, he stole Omega from Alpha. That's interesting.
They found in the Delta Quadrant. This all creeped to me.
Yes. So I'm trying to think if there's anything. So the basis of this thing is it occurs naturally, but
Can be
most of
synthesized.
all the experiences that we've had with it in both in Voyager and in Starfleet Academy, it's been manufactured, if you will. It's been
Right.
synthesized. The scientists on that moon were synthesizing it. It was being synthesized at Starfleet, and the Borg synthesized it using. Now they gave a material that was a boronite that they needed to synthesize it with, and they could never find anymore. And I didn't think there was any other mention either in Starfleet Academy or in Voyager of this particular ore
Yeah, I don't
that
remember
you could
hearing
use to. But apparently, that's what you need to get to do this synthesis of the Omega molecule. So very, very interesting to go back and look at this episode in light of
Yep.
what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. Again, I feel like it's the space seed to Khan as this episode is to the two final episodes.
Mhm.
And it's a type of thing, it reminded me an awful lot of the type of thing that Lower Decks was very good at. You pick that little thing
Deep cuts. Yeah.
from someplace else
And make it something interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there was actually a good bit they borrowed from Voyager in this whole season. If you look back at it a little bit,
Right.
And, not just this, but of course the Doctor and his family, which you talked about with Gary last time. So, and I'm sure there's more that I'm not thinking of. Well, of course, the Doctor and I don't know. What
I
else?
think
is
having
there?
one of your major characters. I think of one of your major characters being from Voyager is, kind of bringing a lot of Voyager with you.
Sure, that's true.
Gary agrees. He likes to call back.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so let's get right into talking about the episode.
Oh,
wanna
do we
have-
need another sound effect?
Sure, let's have a sound effect.
Okay. Done.
Oh, wait a second. There's an Omega molecule on the screen. Oh, wait a second. We gotta get.
Do we need an Omega sound effect?
Yeah. What do you got?
We'll use the Atavachron instead.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Sounds like somebody's using a Geiger counter to find omega particles.
We can reuse sound effects.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, Craig, do you want to give us the lowdown on this first episode?
Sure. So this is Star Trek Starfleet Academy, of course, 300th night. Story by Kristen Beyer and Kenneth Lynn. Teleplay by Kristen Beyer and directed by our buddy Jonathan Frakes.
Yay!
Well, kind of oh man, because this may be the last Star Trek he directs.
Yeah, people keep saying that. It's like, if there's not another series or if Starfleet Academy doesn't get I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, sure, but maybe not as well. So
I don't know why they would write him off completely for additional seasons of SFA.
I don't know.
it's
If-
probably a combination of
Okay.
his availability and their schedule, because they tended to be if you notice in the season, it was one director for 2 episodes. So it could have been his
Right.
availability just wasn't enough for 2 straight episodes in the prep time as
Mhm.
well for that.
I was just
So, you know-
watching. I was just watching Dropping Names with Brent Spiner and Jonathan Frakes,
Mhm.
and Jonathan mentioned that people keep calling him Jonathan Franks.
What?
They drop an N in his name.
Who does that and why?
I don't know. But now that he mentioned it, I had trouble trying to say his name.
Yeah.
So, and Brent, of course, gets Spiner or
A
Spinner.
spinner.
Yeah,
Or
Spinner.
Brett Spinner.
Yeah. So anyway, the short plot synopsis is: as the year comes to an end, Caleb must choose between life he thought he wanted and life he built for himself at Starfleet Academy. Meanwhile, Nala breaks protocol in one of the final gambit to keep a promise to Caleb.
It's all about Caleb, isn't it? Mhm.
All about the Caleb, yo.
Kind of like saying Disco was all about Michael.
Yes. Except I think it's not so. I mean, I think there's less of it sort of being all about Caleb. They do a nice job of at least giving
Mhm.
some of the players more time. I'm going to say some of the players because how much of the bridge crew, this part feels like Discovery. How much of the bridge crew have we seen? And once again, in this episode and the next episode, we don't see the bridge crew at all.
I do think they gave everybody more equal time. I was with you and Gary, that whole Durham episode where he went to get married.
No, I don't mean that. I mean the actual bridge crew, the real people that are supposed to be sitting at those stations. We saw them in the pilot, and we saw them like one other time.
That's all right. We can swap them out.
It's a
But
school. You got to give students bridge time.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say, I think obviously the focus was on Caleb and his mom, the entire thing, or Caleb mostly, but I think they did a good job throughout the series.
Yeah.
Trying to give everybody a little bit of the limelight,
Right.
the characters you're supposed to care about.
And I think that, in season 2, probably since that arc is done, it may actually even flatten out some more with
Mhm.
what people get attention at different times. All right.
Yeah,
So
Certainly
at
hope
the, at the beginning of this thing, I felt like we had a little bit of a backslide in this episode because it's 300th night, which is the end of the first year at Starfleet Academy, San Francisco. As we know, Tilly's out there someplace with third-year students, but
Mhm.
that's, that was before the academy reopened itself. And so everybody gets called, everybody, and I say everybody goes to Jaden's
Rustai
dorm
ceremony.
room,
Yeah.
except, Akam apparently is just the guy that kind of hangs around sometimes, and we don't even see them. I don't think do we see Akam at all in either of these episodes, these last 2
Oh,
episodes?
yeah, I almost forgot about him, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I was just going to comment on that. He really wasn't much of a presence. He's very much a tertiary character the whole season, and even more so in these episodes.
Well, early on, yeah, he had some lines, and I thought, okay, he's gonna fit in with everybody, and then we just kind of disappeared.
And then there's all those war college students we'll never see again.
Everybody
Well,
put Sam's way.
I also thought it was interesting. I couldn't figure out why. I know we're jumping around, but that's okay because you should have seen the episode already. I couldn't figure out why Kelrick wasn't there. He was clearly a hologram, just like Vance was. Why wasn't he there? They were going to Beta Z. Why was
Exactly. And
Hey.
he was supposed to be, sort of, I felt like he was more of a special envoy kind of guy.
He kind of forgot it. Oh, I forgot something was going on.
I mean, definitely Vance should have been there.
Yeah.
right? That's
Where
also
was
weird.
Kelrick?
Yeah. So, and the thing is that they were there on set because they were filming their scene. So it wasn't like the actor wasn't available. They were there. But
No, they were
yeah,
real holograms. No, they were
yeah,
real.
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, sorry. I think I'm spoiling the illusion.
Yeah.
So it struck me as odd. But okay, so they're having this ceremony, Sans Occam, and Jaden it's about family, embracing everybody's original family, but also this new family that they're forming together with Starfleet and their group. And we get a couple of interesting things that come out of this, which I felt like kind of a backslide. The first one wasn't so much a backslide, but Sam was clearly having, now her personality was different, which isn't a surprise, but she's just suddenly springing stuff on, Genesis, saying, "Oh, I've applied for a single next year." I said, "What?
Mhm.
Why is that happening?" And then when Caleb finds out that this is about family,
He backs out.
yeah, he just bails. He
I'm
leaves.
not drinking the Kool-Aid, kids.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
quite literally.
I did feel like that was slightly out of character, though, or at least he seemed a little rude about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's, you go ahead and drink it. It smells funny, and I just kind of just
Look,
gets up and walks out.
I drank the stuff with Chuck's family, so
And lived fairly.
Oh, was I not supposed to?
Yeah, well, whoops. Try harder. Must try harder.
You keep
Hey, I got the
missing
best-
mark.
I got the best ayahuasca I could find at the liquor store.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Good
Chuck, like a
stuff.
poor marksman, you keep missing the mark.
All
Anyway,
right. So
I just thought that was a little weird that he acted like that.
I think it
Yeah.
was, part of the 2-show arc that he was trying to distance himself from that group as he was getting closer to finding his mother.
Mhm.
right. I think now that it became, especially when it became real, like just a few minutes after that, oh, I can find her. I know where she is. Then he wants to go off just on his own. Just like
He
just kinda-
never thought in 16 years to try the word Ashani, a word they had agreed upon.
Well, I seem to remember him trying. Isn't that one of the words he tried when I didn't go back and look, but
He
I thought.
tried the moons. He tried the different moon names
Oh, okay.
when he
Okay.
took over the room
Yeah.
when Genesis caught him.
Yep.
Yeah. No, isn't that kind of the family safe word?
Yeah, it's gonna say it's our word. It's our word, our secret word.
But yeah, he did get that impression that he thought, oh, these two worlds are mutually exclusive. I can't have my Starfleet family and my mom. He had to go.
Right.
Well, and because I got the impression, okay, well, he's going to find her and he's going to want to leave, but how are they going to keep him around?
Right.
And he, of course, made that decision later. But he was struggling with because he knew his mom had a distrust of Starfleet.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, of course, and so he thought it was going to be one or the other.
What, put in prison and separated from your son, who suddenly just takes off and she doesn't have any idea where he is?
Look,
Why is she?
If I had a down for every time that happened in the 80s.
I'll tell you about it. Go outside and play kid and come back in 19 years. But anyway,
You're supposed to be in by
Back in with the
dark.
light, come on.
Supposed to be back in the house by dark.
Yeah, that's right.
you didn't say which night, though. Well, that's true. You got me a technicality there.
Caleb, drink out of that garden hose.
So before we get to the briefing, to follow up on Caleb, so he then has an awkward conversation in the never reaching the top turbo lift. I don't know. People can have hour-long conversations in there. It still keeps going up. I don't know how that works.
Oh,
but-
yeah. Infinite.
So
Turbo
they have a really, really awkward conversation where he tries to break the ice by saying something, and then she says, well, none of those subjects really address the fact that, we saw each other naked, and then, I killed a bunch of people, and we're not okay with that, So that does not go well. So it seems like that relationship kind of backslid.
Mm-hmm.
And we get another indication from Sam that she says, I've been reviewing my my history here before she went back and had her entire life. It's just I didn't like myself. I didn't respect myself. I just felt like I was ashamed of myself. And wow, Caleb is the one who says, no, you were awesome. You were amazing and really good, helping in a jam and all sorts of stuff. And, she seems to be the only one that really has a problem with how she was. It's not like they don't want to accept her as she is, but it's like,
yeah, she has a similar conversation with Genesis later too.
yeah. All right. So Sam helps Caleb find out where his mother is by this code, and he gets 2 years worth of messages from her. He goes to talk
You
to
have 531 unheard voicemails. Uh-oh.
Hey.
I've got lots of mail.
Copilot, can you summarize my 2 years of messages?
After a while, his mother's just getting voicemail full.
Oh,
Why did he clear these stupid things
I
out?
paid for the unlimited storage plan, and damn it, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
But we find out that even when Caleb goes to now, I'm confused here. Maybe you can help me with this part. So Caleb goes to Ake, and he's going to ask her what? Because when he gets into the shuttle, he says that if he reported what he knew to Ake, then she'd have to report it. And I think that implies that then the Federation would go looking for his mother to put her back in jail. So what was he going to talk to her about the first time he went?
Yeah, I kind of didn't get that either. It was
Well, Aki had offered or said we're gonna look for your mother early on. So I think when he got that information, he was gonna go to her with it, and then heard all the chatter about Starfleet being pulling back and they can't go out the border. Then he changed his mind that he's going to do it anyway, and he didn't think there was going to be a chance for him to be able to go with permission.
Right. I mean,
So he decided to ask for forgiveness.
yeah.
there's
Well,
no coming back from that. You steal a shuttle and you cross out of Federation space. The first thing that went through my mind is there's no going back. You're not getting back into the academy.
True. Yeah, I
You're
thought
gonna
the
get
same thing.
booted out. And even when we got to the end of the second episode, like, you don't remember what he did. Sure, you and your team saved the universe, spoiler alert, but you did it the wrong way. There's no lesson in here.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of got, I had the same feeling though when he decided to steal the shuttle and go anyway. And not only that, but kind of kidnapped a couple of them, on against their will. So, I thought, oh, he's going to be in big trouble. Not like you got to mop all the decks, for the next
right.
6 months.
What do you think?
2
Yes,
centuries.
500 hours of like cleaning out the latrines or something, because he didn't want to go to the meeting with the president of the Federation.
What was that? You got to find the Navarian slug that's been loose.
Oh, the Telexian fly.
Galaxian
Fur
fur
fly.
fly.
Yeah, that's it.
So when they're in the shuttle, I wrote this down because I said, now that's a monologue, because Sam appears in the shuttle with Caleb. And
Mhm.
he's saying, get out of here. You can't tell me, what to do. You're not the boss of me, essentially. And then she says, quote, "You're about to launch a shuttle from a ship at warp while trying to synchronize your warp bubble with the Athenas and then exit the warp bubble without blowing up, which I cannot wait to see you do, because you have a 99% chance of being turned into space salsa without someone who can calculate vector harmonics faster than a computer. But it'll be no skin off my ass, because I'll blip out of here nanoseconds before the skin of your that skin of yours loses cohesion, and you are reduced into subatomic dust, which means you couldn't get rid of me even if you tried. You're smart. I'm smarter."
Yeah. I will say that right there is what we were looking for. I think after Sam had the situation with the doctor and had her reinvention, is she going to be the same or not the same? And she's clearly not 100% the same. She's grown as a
Right.
person. So
Right.
And that was the proof that we were looking for.
As a matter of fact, one of the things when she's helping Caleb figure out this code to think simple, she says, well, when I was a child, I played games.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, because now she has experience being a child and doing different things.
Right.
So, that is part of what now is reflected in current, which was the point of that other episode, is that she has to have the basis of what things are, how things work in order to judge them and have opinions about them. So now she has that. I get feelings, even though we've kind of already done this on the show, but I had feelings of like stealing the Enterprise when they stealing the space shuttle. They're all kind of like, the music gets kind of little going on in there. Is there?
You're talking about Final Frontier?
No, talking about the
for
search for Spock.
Oh,
when it's
okay.
in the Enterprise. That whole kind of thing. It's kind of lightening the mood of the fact that they're actually stealing a shuttle
Mm-hmm.
and then taking off, and then apparently you can just there's those transwarp tunnels you can just go through at
just-
on a whim.
They're just hanging out there, and look, we found one. It's right there. How can
Yeah,
you?
they took care of the Borg way back in Picard season 3.
And forgot
all
to
these
shut
tunnels
off
are-
their transwarp tunnels.
Yeah, really.
Power bill. Oh,
Oh my goodness. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. So they're off to go to Ukek, which sounds like something that Darren would do if he, had some banana, but
Or Dr. Seuss invented.
yeah.
at the same time, we get a scene where Tarima and Jaden figure out what's going on, and they go to Ake, and then Ake has to go to Vance, and we have that scene where he knows what she's going to do. Don't try to kid me. I know exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So just talk to me in the back channels. And, if you go outside of Federation space, I can help you. And she says, well, you've been a good friend, Charlie. Thank you. And so they're off and running with the doctor and Reno and Ake are the only people that we know of that are on the Athena. The entire ship, they don't break it into pieces. The entire 3 people are taking over that entire ship. And Reno says, well, one of those lines that just kind of gets tossed off. I want to check those automated systems. Now's the time to do it.
I found it. I forgot what part it was, but you know how Ake is constantly sitting left, right, up, down, twisted in the captain's chair. She goes and sits on the console.
Yep.
I know.
You're gonna launch something with that butt, lady. Don't
Wait.
do that.
That's tactical. Move. You can't sit on that panel.
I'm reprogramming the programmable matter while I do this. Come on.
The programmable matter now has an ass groove in it.
It's like one of those, those little pins and you can make a little space in it.
Oh boy.
All right. So they head off to go after the shuttle and they don't find it at the edge of the Federation space. They can't detect it. It's too far ahead of them. And they realize, they must have taken a transwarp tunnel to get there. Why didn't we do that? I don't know.
Why didn't we think of that?
But they do detect a mine, one of the mines filled with the Omega 47. And they say, well, that's interesting. Why is it here in the middle of like nowhere? It doesn't make any sense why this is here, and they haven't put all those pieces together yet. But on Ukek, Caleb
Which looks a lot like, what was it, Metallis Prime, which looks a lot like
yes.
Harrison Ford movie.
Blade
Blade
Runner?
Runner?
Blade Runner, yes, thank you.
Wait a minute,
Wow.
you mean Earth? That was
Dystopian Earth.
Earth. Yeah.
I had Blade Runner on the mind at the top of the
LA.
show.
Or yeah.
It's like, why does every place that's dangerous have to be dark and there's always some street vendor frying something up where people
Yes.
that are sitting there.
Well,
And
But
lots
yet
of
you
neon
go to the-
signs.
You go to the nice places, daylight, everybody's dressed in white. It's out in the open.
where are the
That's why
planets
those
where
are
they
the
have?
dark corners of the universe. That's
It's a
why
little
they're
tropey for me. And
Hey, where's the planets where they have clowns and people on
Well,
unicycles?
I tell you, apparently the production crew was a little upset at how dark it was there because I don't know what they were, but apparently they put a lot of Easter eggs into that
Yes.
scene, and you can't see them.
right. Well, a lot
So
that was, there. I don't know if we mentioned this or not yet, but I was watching an interview with Jonathan and somebody else, and they said this is where we really are starting to get comfortable with the volume. The big
Mhm.
60-foot LED wall.
yeah.
They they're really blending it in. It's not like we have to shoot from this angle, we have to shoot from that angle, and you can't tell anymore where the background starts. It's a bit like, the old movies when you watch Wizard of Oz, you're going, don't run into the backdrop on the yellow
Yeah.
brick road.
quick cut before they dance themselves right into that thing.
Hey, I had a dime for every time I saw Wile E. Coyote do that.
Well, plus even on the Next Generation, there's a scene like even that first episode where
Oh, yes.
Data and McCoy are walking.
Oh, yeah.
Cut it now! Cut it now! They're gonna hit the backdrop.
Or on any planet,
Yeah.
there seem to be these pig-like warrior things. And it's like, yeah. You could see the orange background over there going, mm-hmm. But yeah,
Catch
the
Another
volume is
Scene,
really,
Kirk's got a spot where he hit the wall.
Yeah, no, that's Scotty in Star Trek Live.
I really do like the way that they're incorporating the volume technology.
Yeah. It
Oh, yeah,
definitely
that's awesome.
it definitely was much more seamless than it was when we first started seeing it
In
on the show.
Discovery, you could kind of tell it's like we can only do, these kind of spherical shots. And anyway, moving on.
All right, so Caleb actually finds his mom. Spoiler alert, he finds his mom.
End of the episode.
And I thought it was nice that and I think this was, partially Jonathan's directing, is that you spend about a minute and a half with just that scene of him looking at her and her looking at him and him slowly taking off his mask. And
Oh, the mask work was beautiful. I mean, all you could see was their eyes. And even in one of them, Tatiana had one eye showing, and just the emotion coming out of that one eye was like, sweet. That's some acting and some
Mhm.
directing too.
yes. So I thought it was really nice that this was the point of the season in a lot of ways. It's like
Hey, Chuck, that's an improvement, by the way. Much.
I'm doing my acting.
Yeah.
So I like that they spent some time on that. And then they get a chance to catch up, and that's when things start to fall apart.
Well,
Did anyone-
wait a minute.
Did
So-
anyone else, when she rushed up to him with the knife, did anybody else go, it's his mom?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but keep in mind that she didn't know exactly what he looks like now. So it'd take a minute to go, oh, it's you.
He was following her because he had an inkling it was her. So
Yeah.
that was-
I mean, for her to realize it was
Right.
him.
And that
Right.
wasn't the end of the episode, by the way, Craig. We still had
No, I wasn't. I was
Athena.
trying to say they all live happily ever after.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Because when he starts talking to his mother, lots of catching up, lots of things. And so, but then he says some things like, well, that's not what News Braca said. It's like, when did you talk to News Braca?
Mhm.
And he suddenly realizes I have to start keeping a lot of things from my mother, or she's going to realize I'm with Starfleet, and
Yep.
that will kill her.
Yeah, he was sidestepping that really hard. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Q Sam and Darum and Genesis in, and suddenly his mother is super suspicious of his friends from all over the place, and she just wants them gone. So she'll fix that device for them, but then you got to go. You got to go, and they all got to go at that point because
They've been detected.
the planet is occupied at that point.
Citizens, the vault are going to be here in an hour. You have
Yeah.
1 minute to catch the train out of here.
Right.
It was nice of them to give them a warning.
Yes, that was very, very nice of them.
That was again kind of a throwback to World War II when the French were told, "Hey, the Germans are coming."
Mhm. Oh, I have an alarm going off here saying it's about time for us to stop.
Wrap it up on that
Oh.
one.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, we're very close to the end, so I think why don't we just keep going as soon as I can get this thing.
Athena comes, got to drop into the atmosphere. Nothing like a good atmo drop of a ship to make you go, ooh, cool special effects. They pick them up, they get going, and then they discover all these mines are connected. And
Well-
this was the cool part. While they showed it kind of 2D, they did show it as 3D.
Yes.
Because everybody goes, why don't you just go over the
what I thought.
line?
Yeah, really, really.
We were looking at the diagram. I was like, why don't they just go up and around?
Stop calling it a wall. It's a bubble. It's a
Yeah.
balloon.
Because of the
Newsbrocker
budget,
thinks
they could show you this and say, this is a balloon. We have encapsulated them all. There was even a kind of a callback to when, what was it? When Picard was trying to set up that grid to trap the Romulans or detect the Romulans, that it was a net around all of the space.
Yeah.
And now we have the budget to actually show that. So thank you, effects people, for that.
Yeah. Newsbrocker only thinks in 2 dimensions.
So
No.
we did get really we did get one interesting thing that happened just before they were taken away is that Sam and Caleb and Genesis get caught, and Caleb is about to leave with his mother and then realizes that they're talking about Federation spies have been caught. What are they going to do with them? Well, they'll probably kill them. He says, I gotta go. I gotta go. Those are my friends. I gotta go. It's just, yeah. And he leaves. He goes, and surprise, his mother shows up and also tries to help, and gets herself shot for the honor of doing that. So when they finally do escape, and I thought it was interesting when they arrive at the planet, the doctor says, "Oh, I've detected, the mother is there as well. I'm adding her to the transporter queue." I didn't know that there's please wait. You were third in line.
Yeah.
You are in transport number 76, now
Yeah.
serving 4.
So Anisha's in sick bay when all of a sudden I thought this was a good way to end that episode. She's in sick bay, and around the corner comes Ake,
Yep.
and just the worst thing she could imagine.
It was like that scene where Sarah Connor sees the Terminator in
Yeah.
Terminator 2.
Pretty much.
Whoa!
Yeah.
But the closing scene was when Reno is shouting into the space going,
Yeah,
anybody out there? Hello? That was a lonely cry in the dark.
Indeed. All right. So we are going to rate these now. What do we want to rate it on?
Ooh. It'd be too easy to be Omicron molecules. That would
Fine.
wait,
it's a
what was that?
molecule.
What was that triaxial thingy they were trying to make?
Oh, I have that written down here someplace. Bear with me.
Seems like a
here.
big obscure thing we can rate it on.
Yeah, I did have it. It's a transaxleating relay.
That's it. Transaxleating relay. It looked like
Okay.
a tripod to me.
Yes.
Right.
Put a camera on that thing. All right. So why don't you go first, Chuck?
Easier to say than it is to. I am going to give this one an 8.5. I really, really liked as I mentioned, the callback to bring the Omega molecule. I always want to call it a particle. It's not a particle.
I know. I was going to say the same thing.
To bring the Omega from Voyager forward. It's like, nice. I am a consummate fan of Tatiana Maslany. I thought she did an amazing job. There was a little bit of the teen angst was kept at bay, but there was a little showing through. And I know this show is about young people and growth and exploring and violating, and sometimes they lean too much into that. I think I mentioned that a few episodes ago. Like, how long is this love scene at the beginning of the episode with these two, for crying out loud?
How long was that scene where they're rubbing everybody down in Enterprise?
Yeah, no.
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah.
None of that gel.
Craig has PTSD over that. That's not the first time. He's mentioned that.
Hey, it made an impression.
Yeah, apparently. No, I enjoyed it. I thought the writing, the directing, the acting was top notch, as I mentioned earlier. The effects, well done, well done.
Okay. I'll go next. I think I'll rate it the same. There were a few things that I felt like they explained the Omega 47, wink 47
Yeah.
molecule well enough, but I felt like it was also a little bit glossed over, and it was also weird that Reno knew what the Omega molecule was.
Yeah, because in
Because-
Voyager it was like Starfleet
Captain-
admirals and
Captains
captains
and
only.
admirals. Right.
And
Now,
you
the
weren't
doctor
saying-
knew because the doctor was in the briefing in
Right.
Voyager, so he knew what it was. But Reno would have to really be, briefed on what it was.
unless
and-
she had connections or time at that science station. I don't know. When would that have happened?
No, because I had a feeling she left from Discovery and went right to the Academy.
It's
after
kind of the
that.
feeling I got too.
But aside, a couple of things like that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go with an 8.5 of the transaxulating relays. Blah, blah, blah. What about you, Craig?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5 as well. I thought it was a solid episode and an improvement of over one of the episodes we saw recently. And I think it set up everything really well for the as a penultimate episode. So
Yes.
Right, definitely. To be continued on it, which I thought they could have put on there if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But
and by the way, I'm just happy I got to say penultimate.
there you go.
Yeah,
Very fancy, using the fancy word.
blowing our budget on big words.
Yes. Well, one thing they don't blow budget on this show is like the sets, because we're going to see a lot of the same set again in different uses this time around.
I think the effects are top notch.
Oh, yes.
Actually, was it this episode? I think it was when Nurse Bracca's people were shooting and they went into the nebula. Is that the next episode?
That's the next episode.
All right. I'll bring that up in a second.
Yeah, the effects are definitely getting better over time, and it's evident when you go back to even like Voyager when we were watching that episode. And it's like, man, they put in a lot of background music to hide the fact that there's not much else happening in this scene. You got two people talking on the bridge, and I don't know if it's the lighting or the cameras at the time. It feels like you're watching an early episode of Doctor Who or something. Everything just feels really, I don't know, stiff or fake or staged is probably a better word. Like you're sitting on stage with them, whereas the newer effects more or less immerse you into that.
Well, it's all a question of money,
Yeah.
True.
And time, because
and time, right? Because
Yeah.
they take as long to do 10 episodes and a lot more post-production
Mhm.
for the episode.
and things have changed a little bit in the CGI.
Oh,
Oh,
quite.
world
absolutely.
since-
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at TNG. I mean, it wasn't as bad as TOS as far as believability goes. I mean, I'm just saying, you compare something like what we got in today to what we had back then. It's like, oh, it is a little.
Yeah, the
Oh,
species made
TOS
417.
definitely had a cheesy factor, but that, I kind of take that with the 60s. You go back and watch Star Wars A New Hope, and you'll get that same feeling, especially when you're watching it in a high def today, going, wow, this feels really plastic or something. It just,
You're
I thought-
jaded. You're jaded.
I
Yeah.
thought I saw Vader's breath back then, but I guess I didn't. It was just smoking.
That little thing in the front of it just like was sparking and just it was having problems.
Yeah, he's like,
You let out the
All right.
magic smoke.
Well, let's head right on into the last episode of the season, which do you want to give us the lowdown on this one, Chuck?
Sure. I think we need an appropriate sound effect. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. Main mission part 2 is part 2 of the same show. It's
Ooh.
episode 10 of season 1 of Starfleet Academy called Rubicon, not Rubincon.
Rubik's Cube.
Story by Noga Landau and Gaia Violo, I hope. Teleplay is by Alex Kurtzman and Kristen Beyer, 2 names we're well acquainted with.
Mhm.
And directed by, I hope I do this justice, I've heard it and I can't.
Olatunde Osunsanmi.
Olatunde Osunsanmi.
Somebody did their homework.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I heard Larry Nemechek just like rattle it off twice and go,
Yeah.
dude, slow down for us people who don't speak English.
The reason I picked it up is because they said it an awful lot when Will Wheaton was doing, his
Oh, yeah.
after show.
Mhm.
They would always be talking about Olatunde, and when he'd come on, and they'd constantly saying his name. Is okay. So I get it. I get it. I get the rhythm of it. Okay.
Okay, so my apologies to all their family members. Short synopsis. When an old enemy resurfaces as an existential threat to the Federation, Nala must outwit a vengeful foe with a personal vendetta against her. As the cadets and instructors undertake a dangerous, seemingly impossible mission. Mission impossible.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey, it's Desilu all over again.
To save everyone and everything they hold dear. Which is funny because I'm going through and rewatching all the Mission Impossible movies right now.
And that's a direct quote from Khan from the recent Star Trek. Everything they hold dear.
Mm-hmm.
So this
All
is
right.
the closer. We pick up right where it left off.
Right.
The
And
Athena is
and
stuck
no-
outside the bubble of
2
mind.
years later, I'm kidding.
well, and also no previously on,
Right.
which recently Trek had been doing an awful lot of. You would have that on all the time on Discovery, and I think a lot of times on Strange New Worlds. And I thought it was interesting that we don't have it once in this first season of Starfleet
Yeah,
Academy.
you're right because yes. And a lot of that, I think it will begin to start happening next season if they're pulling elements that they want you to recall from previous episodes.
Hey, time's about the essence. We got to move on. You can watch the streaming show again if you want to see what happened on the previous
It
episode.
might have been a time thing too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because in the first scene there, we've got, this remote, very short, quick connection with Vance and Thok. And they essentially kind of give the backstory. You're the only vessel outside the wall, and this is
True.
what the Omega particle can do, and blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah. And
Just
this is-
restate everything.
yeah. So everything is in there at that point. You just know where to listen for it. So you do get that idea. You also find out some new stuff out of that News Braca is trying to organize a mutual protection society. Hey, it's a shame something should happen to your
that's right.
my little planet there. As if I should explode one of my
His
Omega
own-
particles.
His
Hey,
own type of
Marty.
federation.
Omega particles make things hurt. So
And we keep saying particles, and I don't know why, but
I-
they're molecules. I don't know why. It seems to make more sense. I don't know why. How they also have some information that they believe that the energy field surrounding the mines is controlled by a single subspace signal, and since it's in subspace, when Ake says, "Well, what about Discovery? Can it jump? Can it possibly jump through via the mycelial network?" And he says,
Infernal change.
yeah, he says, no, they can't do that because, it's intertwined there and it could actually set everything off. So sorry, nope, can't use Discovery for that one.
But it was a nice ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Athena is on its own to do this entire job.
Hey,
And
so I got to see this episode late, and I
Okay.
saw I was on Facebook, and it was one of those, hey, it looks like Discovery's going to be on the last finale episode of Starfleet. I was like, dang it. And I kept scrolling. Well, they kind of just mentioned it. They never did really appear. You know,
Right.
I hate those stupid articles. They try to spoil it for you.
stay off
Believe
Facebook,
me.
dummy. It's like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? You're
Well,
doing
like
it
I
to
said,
yourself.
I
No,
pull all
I'm
the
not.
stories. I pull all the stories, and there's very little surprises that are left for me by the time that the episode
That's
rolls
true. If
around.
you're going news trolling.
All right, so the ship is not in great shape to begin with, after having been the Athena, after having been through what it went through, and actually now it's just the saucer, if you will, at this point, right? Because
Yeah.
I would say there was a saucer separation, but everything was kind of separated to begin
Well,
with.
they left the stem, the neck behind.
Left of stems.
well,
You
that's
just
why.
got the muffin top.
Right.
So, Noose shows up and has a lot of Noose Brock-isms that go on, including what is it?
Come
enemies
on, you
of
always
law?
knew it was going to be me in this chair.
Yeah, looking directly at the camera, which I thought,
Yeah. Hello there.
Hi, audience, how you doing?
Let's break the fourth wall.
You forget about me
So he takes off,
with
And-
Ake and Reno.
right?
No, Ake and
Ake and
the doctor.
Anisha, right? The mother.
Yep,
That's who he
Anisha.
takes off with, right?
No, he didn't take the
Yeah.
doctor.
No, he didn't take the doctor because you're right. He comes in later with
Right.
this.
So, this puts Reno in charge, and we're going to see a lot of Reno in charge in this episode, which is something that we never really got a chance to see.
I love it.
And it was an
Yeah.
amazing, there's like, okay, here's what we got to do. We got to do this. We got to do this. Like, any thoughts about this? And somebody's, I think it was Genesis who said something about the first thing is scanners. Yes. I don't like the fact you delayed, but yes, you're absolutely correct. That is the absolute first thing,
And Darum's suggestion, she goes, A for positivity, but I'm docking you for attitude. So she's
Yeah,
treating
good-
it like a classroom at first.
Yeah.
Good on the math. How slow that 1/8 impulse will
Yeah, it
be.
was like quarter impulse or something, and he goes, "That's 1,000 meters per second, or 1,000 kilometers per second, which ain't too slow. But if you're trying to get across some part of the galaxy, it's
Yeah,
very slow."
And it was great to actually see her in charge and doing something other than just being a smart ass in the corner,
Right.
like she's been doing, and
Yeah.
just even in Discovery,
Noose wasn't a fan of her.
No, you I don't like.
Yeah, that's right.
And her attitude was like, good.
Okay.
Do I look like I care?
I'm doing my job, I guess. Good.
Yeah.
But she also, in addition to being in charge and treating it like a classroom, to try to, she says, "Oh, you're doing much better than that bad training
Simulation
simulator."
fiasco.
But she also knows enough to take Caleb aside when he's go after my
Yeah.
mother. This is a waste of time, and have a long conversation with him until he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
She makes him get it himself, but
That was a great scene.
Right.
I loved that
He's
scene.
gonna help her die, pretty much is what he was saying.
right,
She was
because
saying.
it ends with him saying like, okay, well that reading's now, back at 0.8, right where it belongs. And he looks up and she goes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it was a great Jet Reno episode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for
Absolutely.
sure. I mean,
Well,
that's really, I mean, we've seen her, but like I said, being a smart aleck, even in Discovery, all the way, even to now. And this was the first time it was like, wow, she's really shining. She's doing stuff, she's doing something important and really showing her chops. And I thought it was great.
So when Ake is leaving, she gives a quote. Let's see, I wrote it down here. Leap clear of all that is corporeal and make yourself grown, which is actually a quote from Hermes. And so that is why the doctor knows we're supposed to run training mission Hermes 19.
And
Hermes
And
19.
Noose,
Get over that. a
Noose
few
is
years
like,
ago.
literary quotes.
Yeah. Yeah, I say Hermes 19. Didn't we just get over that a few years ago?
Well, no, this is a
No.
different thing altogether.
Oh.
That's Omega 19.
So he puts So he puts a hollow emitter, which apparently it's the same one he's had
It's all beat up and
forever.
burnt.
Hey, well, wait a minute. So remember, I'm trying to remember if maybe it was you and Gary, or anyway, we were like, well, he doesn't have his hollow emitter on anymore. Well, it was in the side of his lapel,
Keeps it
inside of
tuned.
his jacket.
Yep.
So that's where he's been keeping it. And it looked a little thousand
not-
years old.
Yeah, it's very old.
Yeah.
Ed Begley Jr. should be very happy with what he designed, because it's like, wow, that thing really lasts.
Don't you know you're supposed to soak it at night in the nightstand?
Ed
It's like
Begley Jr. is
almost-
like, oh man, my technology outlasted me.
Oh
Like a
man,
logo in his bucket. You got to clean that thing once in a while, man.
Yeah.
you'd think he'd take better care of it.
It's not
So-
IP68 rated.
So he's
That's
the hollow emitter is placed on top of the programmable matter portion of the console, and he essentially sinks into it and becomes one with the ship, which is kind of actually ties into the quote that's given by Hermes, which I thought was a nice, like, okay, we're making a big loop of this whole thing,
Mhm.
which is being more than you think you are, being, transcending stuff and all this kind of things. And he uses the deflector array to create essentially a decoy ship that the Venari Raw think that they destroy.
A
Right.
hologram of the explosion. I thought that was brilliant.
And they take off right away. There's nothing to scavenge. So what are they going to hang around for? So
Yeah.
they-
Like after everybody leaves, see the debris, it's like, okay, of course, you know what happened.
It's like Harry Potter's invisibility cloak. After Snape is gone, you can kind of peek out from behind.
I
That's
like
right.
this Chuck hiding his face thing. Good episode tonight.
You know what? I can just remove you from the stage. There. I say we do the rest of the show this way.
Oh my.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey,
We can block user too.
we missed you.
There you go.
All right,
Oh,
but
that's better. That's much better.
Yeah, oh, stop it, you guys. Stop it. So the my goodness. So the doctor is not himself though when he comes back out.
No, he's burned a few fuses. Couple of
Talking
diodes short of a circuit board.
Yeah.
yeah, talking pretty much gibberish, and off to the sick bay with him. And Jaden is now going to be the medical officer, I guess. So it's a doctor that you're treating as a patient. I'm sure that's going to go extremely well. Doctors are very, open to that type of thing.
It reminded me
Oh,
of
yeah.
that episode of Deep Space Nine where they all got infected with that thing that they just couldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Blue rectangle in the sunset. Are we supposed to make sense out of this? But they eventually do make sense out of it.
Yes.
Well, Jaden does.
Right, because he hears Genesis and Sam talking in the language that they talked when they very first met.
Yep.
In the first
He
episode.
says you understand each other even though you don't understand each other. And then you go, oh, ding. So that was a cool callback too.
Yeah, it was.
And the doctor is essentially telling them how they can stabilize the omega 47 molecule
And he knew this how? From his
um,
on Voyager?
when
Maybe?
he became one with the. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe his was an educated guess as well, because we find out that when Sam brings this information to the bridge and Jet says, great, okay, let's run a simulation and let's start it with okay, we only have to affect a small amount. How about we should 0.95% or something like that?
Fail.
Ticking it
Fail.
down. Yeah.
Okay, right. And I thought you don't have to view them all. Just let
And,
it
and have a
run.
readout. I know it's like we don't need every iteration. It's a bit like when they're matching fingerprints and you see every fingerprint show up on the screen. It's like that's
Yeah.
not how it goes, people. And the
Yeah.
computer would not waste time telling you 0.94 failed, 0.93 fail. Like,
You're right.
get to the point. It'd be calculating in the background. Here's your answer.
Especially when it gets to, it only works at 100%. I mean, that was a long time to be staring at those
Hey,
explosions.
Hey, computer, skip to the end.
Yeah, really. Go to
No,
the
it was
part where it gets
counting
good.
down. It was counting down how much energy
No,
you
no,
need.
it's going up. It's they need no. It was how much of the Rubin
That
the
was
element
when
they
Sam
had to.
was doing her algorithm.
Yeah,
It
but that's
was
the thing. She had to figure. They had to. She had
right.
to figure out how much of it were they to remove, and they started assuming it was a small amount. That's why it got all the way up to 100%. That's why when Sam is doing it, she has to get to 100% that
Yeah.
they haven't removed enough of it
Which
yet.
is the oldest trick in the book. If you want to build suspense, you have to have some sort of countdown or count
Mhm.
up. Like, okay, we're gonna get Sam cutting it pretty close to the wire. It's like defusing the bomb. You're not gonna defuse it at 5 minutes and 43 seconds.
Now they have to locate where the Athena is. Where they really have to locate where Newsbrock is at this point.
Right.
They're hoping that everyone is there, but the mission is to neutralize the threat. So they have to find Newsbraka, and assuming that Caleb's mother and Ake are with him, Caleb comes up with an idea about how to find them.
Remote sensing through Terima.
Mhm. She's the long range sensors.
Yes. So he convinces her that she really doesn't need the inhibitor.
You're not a weapon.
Yeah, and you can see her fist clenches when she says, "You've been told all your life you're a weapon, and you believe it." And she's like, it's like her fist is clenching. Like, what's your point? I don't
Mhm.
like where this is headed. And he explains that this could be a gift. This is, this is you, and I trust that you can do this, and I trust you with me to be able to, make this connection. Like, I'm not afraid of the fact that you're going to tap into all the stuff that happened to me as a kid, that we're going to make this work. And so they do, and they locate where they are in the system. And then we pull what I call
We kind of skipped over the whole trial thing. So Noose has put the
right.
Federation on trial. He says, I'm gonna be fair because you never gave, anybody else a trial when you took this family apart. So we'll do this fairly. And he goes and tells his story about when he was on a mining colony. And as soon as he said that part about the sky lit up red and the missiles, I'm like, that's not Federation tech.
Right.
Something's wrong with his story.
Right,
Sniffed
especially
it
if you-
right out then.
Right. Especially when he says, what, one missile that failed to hit anything, they would just rain down, all this destruction. That just didn't seem right at all. And of
Mhm.
course, Ake sees right through that, going, there's no time in the history of Starfleet have we ever fired on civilians.
This is one of the few episodes where I turned the captions off because they had that news crawler at the bottom.
Right.
The captions were in the way, and you could watch, which the Klingon or new Kronos is, considering joining this new league with. You could kind of follow along like a real news story, going,
I mean,
this is fun.
if we're being honest, in this episode, there's no real attempt to veil who Newsbraka is and what network you're watching. When you're watching this episode,
Right.
but he's making his points because he's trying to convince all these other worlds that the Federation is bad and that they should join with him in this coalition. And he's actually going to have Anisha be the one who decides whether or not Ake is guilty, because
Not a biased judge at all.
right. He assumes that that's the way it's going to work out.
Mhm.
And that's the way it works out. Because she
Despite
really
Ake's quivering lower lip.
Yeah, she quite obviously just simply cannot forgive Ake for what she did. Even when Ake points out, well, I have to say that, you probably could have stopped Noose from killing that pilot, but you didn't do that, and you changed all those families' lives. And, it's these things happen. You know, you don't always have the control of it. And she's like, she listened to it all, but she says she's guilty, but immediately she puts her head in her hands, like her fists in her hands, like she almost like she didn't want to say that
Yeah.
that was the case, but she said it anyway.
Mhm.
And Noose is delighted, absolutely thrilled by this. Oh, I wanted to point out one thing about the atrium. Those trees burn a long time.
I was going to say that cherry blossom tree was on fire for a while.
Holographic fire. Actually, I thought it was funny that, not funny, but
And then it's back upright at the end. It's like, who knew?
the atrium has all that graffiti all over it,
Mhm.
which looks like somebody defaced a school, which is exactly what they did.
Yeah, yeah. But I got a kick out of those all in the same handwriting. Everything is in the same handwriting along both
Well,
levels.
everybody's handwriting is the same when you use a phaser to write.
Well, I suppose.
There was one that was reversed. It was one of the first ones they showed.
Yeah, which
Burn, break,
was-
build, or something. And like, what?
It was like painted on a window or something almost.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. I couldn't make out the third word, but
It was build, which I thought didn't make sense because the other two were destructive, and that was maybe there was sort
I
of
think tear it down to build up
Rebuild it,
something new
yeah.
type of thing.
it was backwards, and oddly enough, I paused it and went into the other room. And when I came back, there was a reflection off of one of the picture frames in our living room, and I went, "Now I can read it."
Yeah.
Well, I could read it. Just that third word
was a
that
bit
was behind
obscured by a
initially.
tear or
Yeah, I
something,
couldn't
yeah.
quite get all of it. All right. So Noose is about to give his sentence when all of a sudden Caleb shows up,
Yep.
and he doesn't seem to ask exactly how Caleb got there or anything like that. Just kind of like, oh, okay, you're here now.
He's
Or-
still
or-
another
Or even
subtle.
say, "Didn't you just say I was dead? So if that's a lie, what else are you spewing?"
So he
Yeah.
said, and
So
I thought
Caleb
it was-
stole another shuttle.
I thought it was really weird that News would let a lot of these conversations that were clearly turning on him go on,
Yeah.
and he let this one go on about, oh, I found the Federation, and he fluffs it off the end, going, oh, that's brainwashing. You know, they probably put him in the brig. You know,
Well, he
and-
was convinced that he was right. So he didn't think that, I don't think he thought that any of this argument was going to sway anybody because he thought he was 100% right.
and it turns out
Memorized it along with the Federation anthem. We don't have a Federation.
Federation.
Good
what a
idea.
good idea.
Oh, Chuck and his uke.
Yeah, I was going to say he's working on it right now. Okay, don't worry about it.
Here's
know
the
it.
anthem. Da, da, da.
What was I going to say there? Oh, so that's when Ake is also pointing out that, well, the Federation didn't destroy your planet. Your father did by using that weapon with the only thing you know how to use, or the only thing available to use, the strontium. He essentially ignited the atmosphere. And News is just lies, lies. It's all lies. It's all lies. See how they lie? She
Mhm.
says it's just science.
Science.
Then she says something along the lines of, so is this what you people want? You want this is the person you want
A
them
madman with his hand on the trigger. You
to
wanna
lead
follow
them into
him?
the future?
And then he'll start blipping out.
Yeah. And he's really upset at that point.
That's not how it ends. This is how it ends.
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
Well, the Sam is going from 97%. File downloading. Come on, download
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
Finally he clicks, and
What'd she
nothing
say?
happens.
I'm working on an algorithm, not making chicken soup.
No,
or
no,
something.
it was some kind of pie, wasn't it?
Yeah. Something. I
Pie.
can't remember now.
Yeah.
Pineapple,
Pine-
pineapple pie.
Yeah, it was a pineapple turnover or something. It was yeah, it was it ain't rocket science, Sam. Oh wait.
It actually sounds like something the doctor would have said.
So Sam is able to neutralize
He goes
all
click
the Omega-47. Yep.
and it doesn't blow anything up. Computer, what's happening?
Then I thought it was interesting because what happens next is exactly what she said to the cadets. Either we can charge in there on our own with a ship that doesn't work and try to take on all of Newsbraka's and all of those ships, or we can try to disable the wall and have 100 Federation ships all at once converge on the spot where he is,
Right.
which then happens.
Yep.
I was anyone else looking for the Discovery in that shot? I didn't see it.
Actually, I
Should have been there first.
I wasn't really scanning the ships because I was like, well, we're in the future and I don't, you kind of don't know what they all look like, except
There
for
were a lot of new ship shapes.
Well,
Yeah.
the Discovery would look like the Discovery, right?
Yes.
So,
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
because I was looking for it, and we do have other ships that have that same kind of the ring shape with the opening in the middle of
Yep.
it. But you'd be able to tell if it was the Discovery. I think one of the reasons I don't think you'd want it there is because it looks an awful lot when you don't see the wings, if you will, in the Athena. It looks an awful lot like the Athena. And I think it could be confusing. Well, what's that other
Mhm.
thing there? If you weren't familiar
Yeah.
with Discovery, they've got 2 academies. What's that other thing there? So maybe it's just as well but I did look for it in both shots because we see the fleet surrounding News,
I mean, you see him sailing off at the end.
right? And I didn't see it in either of those cases. And how fast did they rebuild the atrium and get new trees in there?
Programmable
Because
matter.
because the semester was over.
Yep.
Computer reset atrium.
A hollow atrium. How
Yeah.
disappointing.
Right.
Also, they at the end, the digital dean is saying that welcome to Beta Z, but the ship had already been to Beta Z, and all the cadets had been offloaded, which was
yeah,
Laura
that was a
Clark's
bit out of-
job was
out
to
of-
do that.
Yeah, that was a bit
So-
out of whack.
So I didn't understand why they were going back there again. So anyway, that bit was confusing.
A debrief Starfleet because that's where they're at now.
Well, yes, that certainly is true. That could be part of it. We have Caleb not wanting to go meet the president. There's like 10 forks for things. Oh, you're right. That's not
And it
covered
gets
till
next
the second
season.
year. I'll give you a crash course in it. And he's reconnecting with his mother as well. Anisha and Caleb are going to go off, make their first stop on Earth, which is something that of course, I hope he doesn't say, I kind of been there already.
Yeah.
I spent like a year there,
Look, Mom, I've already been to Disneyland.
Let me show you around.
Yeah.
but I got all this food I've been keeping in my locker for you. So if we can, and we have another scene at the end after that, don't we? Oh, so then
A lot of posturing.
yeah,
Yeah, they're all posing with each other, kind of.
yeah, Caleb is talking about the fact that, well, now he has indeed found a home and he's doing his first entry log. He says something I never expected to be doing. Oh, and
The end. Right on time.
the end. Okay, so I can't get my phone to stop making noise, but there we go. I said stop. All right. Well, you guys,
It's a Mega 47 on your phone.
it is a Mega 47.
And infected with the doctor virus.
All
Yeah.
right. So I'm trying to get that to. There we go. Well, I don't usually
Let's
use
watch
that
Clinton
function.
figure out his phone now.
Yeah, I don't usually use that function, so it's like, why won't it stop? All right, so we're gonna.
This guy is one nebula short of a galaxy.
I know. Thank you, Rock.
No, that was Jankum.
Oh, Jankum, what are we going to rate this one on? Is what I was thinking. That was happening.
What do we have other than
Well, we've got strontium. We've got
Strontium
Unit
sounds like
strontium.
it should be a drink at the bar.
Hermes. We've got what else do we have here? We've got graffiti.
Let's go with graffiti.
Graffiti. Okay, it's
What
kind of-
exactly is 7.5 graffiti?
all right. We'll find out, I guess. All right. So, and Craig, you start us off.
I thought that it was a solid end to the season. They kind of wrapped up the whole thing. There wasn't a cliffhanger to wait, bring in for the next season, which is fine sometimes, but it's also nice when they wrap it all up. So
Usually better in a later season.
yeah, and I think the actor, I can't remember his name, that's playing Caleb. I think he's nailing it. I think he does a solid job. Actually, everybody does a solid job.
We didn't mention the final thing. Stay for the
Right.
credits and have your pause button ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's right. So yeah, I think it was a solid ending to the first season. So I'm gonna give it I'm gonna get an 8.5.
Okay. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I mean, it's the second half of the story, and we have a lot of setup to go through here. But there are some very strong points in this. I think that once again, Newsbrock is Paul Giamatti is chewing the scenery. Once he nailed who that character was the second time he showed up, it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing here now, and it's just going off the deep end constantly. And Anisha, Tatiana put in a great performance here as well, and I like what they gave her to do. That you think she's going to renege at the last minute because clearly Ake is not going to be killed, so clearly she's going to, okay, I changed my mind, but they have her say, nope, she's guilty. She regrets saying it. She feels bad saying it. She feels horrible saying it, but she says it anyway. And you have the team working together. We already talked about Jet in this episode, which was amazing. So yeah, I think I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to give it an 8.75, just a little bit higher.
Can't just, you got to outdo me. I'll see how it is.
You can change it if you want to, or talk me down. Talk about the ledge.
$1.
Yeah. No, I'll stick with mine, but I do think it's a solid episode.
Okay. And what about you, Chuck?
I'm going to take you all. I'm going to give it a 9. I thought this was right on the nose, except for the consequences of stealing a shuttle and all that stuff that the kids shouldn't have done. That would have got you booted out of the entire program on day one. But that aside, if you save the Federation, they'll forgive you for doing something like that.
Worked for Kirk.
Yeah, he's all saying
Several times, apparently. Constant disregard for chain of command, blah, 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 prime directive, blah, blah, blah. So I really enjoyed this. I don't think they could have wrapped it up any better.
I think overall, just to give you a little, I don't know if you want to talk about this on the next episode, but I think overall the whole season was mostly positive, except for that Durham episode. But I think for the most part, with its ups and downs, I think that this was a solid season.
Yeah. I think that, as we've talked, the freshman, and in this case, literally freshman seasons of Trek series are usually pretty bumpy. And I think this one had some of those same learning curve frustrations when the writers are trying to figure out how the actors are doing the characters and so with making little adjustments here and there, because
now they both locked up. There we go.
Clinton froze.
Clinton froze. You didn't.
All right, so Chuck, we need to freeze.
I did this. Now we're back. That was weird.
Yeah.
So stop that. Weird guys.
See what you got to deal with, people.
But we can traditionally what we do is, if you're not familiar on the show, when we get to the end of a series, we will reflect back on the entire series, because that gives us a much broader picture of everything, and we can pick out favorite moments from the entire run of something. But yeah, looking back on this I keep calling it that because why not? Because in this case, it is literal the freshman season that I think it fits well in with first seasons of most Trek.
Nice arc, nice callback, nice character development. Just remember, during the summer seasons, you're not allowed to use magic outside of Hogwarts.
Yes. Wait, but no. That's not. No. You keep
Yeah.
keep making that confusing. It's just that's not what
Crossing
we're
the
talking
streams,
about here.
Chuck.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that about wraps it up for us. Now, next time we're back, we're going to obviously not going to be reviewing another episode of something because we don't even have any word on when Strange New Worlds is going to premiere. I'm getting a little. I at this point, I am going to assume
Are we going to go back and review more Enterprise episodes?
we could get back to that, sure, but we'll also be doing some book reviews, and so we will let you know in the next episode what we've started reading because the three of us have to share the book, and so we will. That'll take a little while to get through, so we will let you know what that is, and if you want to be, listening, you get to be along and comment on it while you're watching the show, or leave us.
Oh, so we're going to have Topic is Trek Book Club.
Yes, exactly.
We didn't even mention that we also have 50 additional stories in our show notes over at the topicstrek.com under episode 198.
Right. Just because we didn't do subspace chatter doesn't mean there wasn't any subspace chatter, and there certainly was.
You just
good amount of
chose to ignore it.
We just don't need all that subspace chatter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't tell Charlie.
Yeah, don't tell Charlie.
Sure thing, friend.
Now I will be interested to find out now that Starfleet Academy is over for season 1. If you've been looking at the show notes and seeing the links to the stories, it has been overwhelmingly Starfleet Academy. And I mean more than most other series. So now that it's over, how are things going to balance out? I really want to see, because in the off times, that's when all the sites go, well, now we get a chance to talk about Voyager a bit, or Deep Space Nine, or these other things. And so you'll get a chance in the next couple of episodes of the show, if you check the show notes, to see, because they're going to write stories about the series that are going to get them views. And
Right.
it's kind of a read on, okay, what's popular right now? It's not what's popular all the time. It's just like, okay, in this current cycle, what is the popular show that people are most interested in reading stories about? So keep an eye on that as we go into these episodes between Starfleet Academy and Strange New Worlds, season 4. All right, that about wraps it up for now, though. You can find me, Clinton, over at Comedy Forecast, all one word with the number 4. I'm on all the socials, same thing. So you can check out over 800 past episodes, new episode coming. I said a couple of weeks ago it was coming. Technical delays for other things going on. Life happens sometimes, but that episode will be coming out very, very shortly. I'm hoping by the end of the weekend, the patrons will have it, which is what I said last time, but I think we got a good shot at that. Who speaks for you guys?
I will. So you can find Chuck and I over at Technorama at chuckchat.com/Technorama. And we also are doing our 800 episode this weekend. So come join us and see all the hijinks and goings on there. And you can find us on all the socials and all that good stuff too.
Oh, the hijinks and the lowlifes.
Wait a minute. Is that an Omega symbol at the end of our show notes or a Lululemon logo?
I think it's a set of headphones. It's just a set of headphones, except that the headphones are turned out for some bizarre reason. I don't know.
It's a cowboy's legs,
Horseshoe?
Actually, you know why that's there? Because when I went to do this is great for the audio podcast, but when I went to do this, I had to get
a symbol.
the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was in the show notes and I went, oh, and then so that's
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Time to play the theme, boys.
Indeed.
Oh, that's your line.
Oh, I thought you were doing that for me. Hit the theme, boys. If you like the show, please be sure to tell a friend about it and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear from you. Follow us on Blue Sky at The Topic is Trek. Visit our Facebook page, or you can indeed call us at 816-TREKKER. That's 873-5537. Until next time, on behalf of Chuck, Craig, and myself, I'm Clinton, thanking you for listening. And as we always say here on The Topic is Trek, don't put
Put
on
on the red shirt.
Like this blonde guy.
He's dead, Jim.
I'm not dead yet.
Shut up. You're not fooling anyone.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh,
Well, if you-
we started off script and we ended off script.
See what I have to deal with?
We're definitely not Topic is Trek at the beginning or the end.
Right.
All righty. Well, we're going to end the video feed. Thank you for watching, or watching live, or watching afterwards. We appreciate you, and we hope you'll join us on the next episode, which hopefully will be in 2 weeks. And we will, again, at that point, we will let you know what book we are reading. And if you want to check that out ahead of time as well, and join us when we record live, which is usually on Thursdays. It's usually every other Thursday at 9:30 Eastern, US Eastern.
Correct.
So you
Hey,
can
and keep an eye on the socials because I will post what we're reading. That way you'll know, pick it up if you
all
want.
right.
Beautiful.
Bye,
Bye,
bye for
everybody.
now.
Live long and prosper.